Gates closed. I can't wait for the grass to start growing. Private property, no trespassing. Yay. Trespassers will be fed to the dog. Don't think that grass field is actually usable. We're going to have to cultivate around the edge of the field at least once. And that bit there. So that's a grass field on the right, which is also unusable. Okay, we can do field 8, which also has no gate. Cannot see field 9 from over here. Oh, this is open. So, this is a grass field. Don't need any more grass for now. We will be buying sheep, but I don't need grass for right now. So field 9, also grass, not interested. Probably shouldn't be driving on other people's fields, but well. So I think we might buy field 8 next. Possibly today. Okay, field 11 to our left is also grass. We'll skip that one. I'm sure back in the day, Farm Sim 17, there were far more gates on these fields. So 14 is numbered, so we'll take a look at that one. Okay, 14, also a grass field. Helper, G is blocked by an object. That's probably not a good thing. Looks like 13 is a grass field. 12. Oh, 12 is what used to be the expansion area. So 13 is a grass field. Was that? No, that was a grass field. Okay. And there's a field just round the corner here, so I might buy it. As I said, we'll buy 8 because it's arable, or it's already set up as arable. This field to our left is huge, and also set up for arable. Okay, there's a lot of arable on the left there, so that's good. That's grass. I want to hold off buying grass fields until I figure out how much grass I actually need. And that's the sawmill, and this is another back lane to our farm. So the field right to our left right there, that is also set up for sheep. So obviously we're going to buy some sheep, but we're not going to worry about the sheep right now. And this here in 17 used to be an expansion area, so it's very flat and good for putting buildings on, and I plan to do that in this playthrough. Because we are going to need some more storage on this farm. I will possibly end up doing like I did in Lord Folds and leaving a lot of these gates open. But for right now, let's stick with what we've got. And probably very late in this playthrough we will branch eventually into pigs, and at that point I will be opening the farm down at the bottom, whatever it's called, near the store, and we will then need another yard tractor. Should probably be a bit heavier than the ones we've used so far. So you think you're done? I would say probably a good observation. We haven't planted here, so the tractor that's having issues is probably there we go, the other one. So, we get to finish off doing this field. Actually, somebody else can do that. Ooh, wheel slip. Should probably have put some wheel weights on that before we pulled it out for whatever it is we're doing with it. What the heck are we doing with cultivating? Yeah. So, where is him? So I don't know why. Field information. Before previous fallow, previous fallow. Previous was grass. This was a grass field that I ploughed under and then reseeded. Looks like there's a little bit back there. Oh, there's two little bits back here. Do a quick check on the PDA, make sure we planted everything. So, grass. That is looking quite impressively grass, so good with that. We'll have to go back and probably spray that. I won't get a self-propelled sprayer this year. I'll save that till future years, I think. Okay, we can fold that up then. Although we will have a lot of spraying work to do, because we don't have access to stuff. So I guess we'll plant this one from this side. I was thinking oats. Check the weather thing. Temperatures are still a bit low. What's the time? 10 o'clock in the morning, so we do have a chance that the ground will heat up. I suppose I should check. So today, temperatures are rising. They drop off at 6 o'clock. It does drop to 5 degrees. We are risking failure to germinate, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have no preference, wheat, corn, wheat, barley, or oats. But I do need some straw for when we eventually get cows in. Ugh. If I start that here, it's going to miss that bit behind me, but I don't mind because we're going to have to do the... no, stop. No, you can unfold it. We just need to select a different crop. Then we can go. So, off he goes. Again. Now we might be short on seed for that. Helper E is blocked again. Probably a tree. Push through there again and go and find our little tractor. A big tractor. That's not blocked by an object. Must be the other one. Okay. That's not blocked by an object. That's not moving. That's strange. Oh, it was... I don't know. Okay, so... I don't want to take the spreader back to the yard. Helper G has completed their task. I find that highly doubtful. Okay. I guess I'm taking over this one. Drive forwards, there we go. So yeah, I know one of the regular YouTubers did some testing with field equipment and tractors, and they did find that putting a weight on the front, wheel weights and wide tyres on a tractor, you get the best traction possible. I'm just going to drive through the hedge since I can. See how we do through here. What I should do is probably go to the narrow end of the field and have the worker work left to right as we're looking. I think for now we're good. I remember rightly, those trees at the top do get in the way, however. Yes, I know it shows 3 previous including the current, but the previous was grass on that field, I know, because I ploughed it in on the yesterday game day. So unless it counts grass as a fallow field, the previous crop on that field was grass. I think these fields are also set to fallow. I wonder if that's a setting the map maker needs to make when they create the map, because this was created, it was created pre-seasons but updated for seasons. There is a possibility that it's a setting that Oxygen David didn't bother with when he made it seasons ready. Because there are some maps which do tell you what the previous crop was. This one has the right colours for previous crop, but it's not showing what the previous crop was. Again here, before previous and previous are both fallow. Now I've ploughed the field already, so I don't know that it'll show. No, it doesn't show what the previous crop was because I ploughed it in already. But you look at fields over here, this was wheat, but if I go and stand in this field, it's going to tell me, is it wheat? Barley. It's going to tell me the previous crop on this field was fallow, and the one before it was fallow too. Now obviously once you're farming, it will tell you what your previous crop was and the one before that. That's kind of helpful if you're doing the crop rotation thing, which we will try and follow. Now this field I am going to do is canola. So at least I did put wide tyres on this thing. At least I'm pretty sure those are wide tyres. We are at least winning the traction war. So I'm not a map maker, so I don't know for fact. But from a programmer's perspective, it looks like base game map definition, there is somewhere in there where you can say the previous field had wheat in it, the previous field has corn in it, or that's what's currently growing in that field because and that will create the colours on your PDA. But there's also something for seasons, because seasons remembers the previous crop and the one before that. There is something in seasons that obviously you can, there's a setting there that you can say the previous field, the previous crop was X, the one before that was Y. And on a lot of maps that's not specified, especially the ones that came out early in the FS19 life cycle. So Old Stream Farm is previous crop on all the fields that you own was fallow, and it made for a kind of a role-playing start. All the fields need ploughed, all the field need limed, all the fields were fallow previous year and the one before that. okay, this farm was a derelict before I bought it. Nobody's planted anything in those fields for years. The fields haven't been cared for. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to get those fields ready to plant. And that's kind of cool. But yeah, that role-playing theory can get old very fast if every map you play on, all the fields were fallow, all the fields need ploughed, all the fields need limed, which is what we've got here as well. So am I a rescue farmer? I've come to rescue the farming in this area because the previous farmer just didn't do anything, and we need to get these fields essentially back into production. So there's nutrients to add back into the soil. We've got to plough the soil and loosen it up. Because I kind of did that story already, but yeah. We're basically just relocating from Scotland. Now I also think the previous crop shows or is updated as soon as you harvest. So the current crop is, let's take field 1, is oats. Is it 1? No, field 2. Our current crop is oats because that's what we're planting in it. And then once the oats get harvested, the previous crop is oats. However, the field content would still read as oats because it's kind of the current crop, although there isn't one at the moment because we harvested type of deal. As well. No problem. So once this is done, we're still planting the oats, so that'll take a while. Oh, we just need to get the fertilizer out on this field. That's okay. That's not quite so okay. Yeah, that tree's a problem. We'll have to turn the other way. Maybe not. So as soon as we got a free tractor, we'll buy field 8. And get the free tractor to start working that one. Again, not sure what I'm going to put on that field. Got the grass that I need, I've got the straw crop that I need, so every other crop I plant can be what? Can be purely money making. What I might do is buy 8 and plant oilseed radish on it, because I know the oilseed radish will grow either mid or late spring, and then we could go and plant soybeans on it maybe, or something like that. It's worth taking advantage of the fact that the previous field states were fallow, because that way you can get high yield off of soybeans, which isn't possible once you've started growing. They don't come. When you plant soybeans, you will never get a 1.2 multiplier on yield. Everything else, depending on what the previous crop was, has the potential of reaching a 1.2 yield. Did we finish over here? I can't remember. To get the absolute best yield from a soybean crop, you must leave the field fallow as previous. Also get a small harvester at the end of the first year. I don't know how much money we're going to make this year on the crop, on the crop sales. Okay, I think that's this field complete. That does count as cultivating as far as achievements are concerned. Once I've finished the cultivating achievement, I could switch to a 12-meter farrow to cultivate the ground, which means the job would go quicker. This is not exactly a bad thing anyway. So I will bring this here. And since this is private land, trespassers will be fed to the hound. I'll leave that in the middle of the road. We still have 8,000 litres of this stuff. The plan had been to use a drill that planted seed and fertilizer simultaneously, but the drill, the cultivator contraption on the back of it, or on the front of it, the wheels wouldn't rotate 180 degrees, so I couldn't reverse it into a shed, which was a problem. And then, so I decided, okay, well, I can cultivate and I don't need the drill. And so I bought a regular planter, which included fertilizer, and that just behaved all sorts of weird on me, and so I had to sell it, and we've ended up dropping back to the Lemkin, which is a 12-meter planter. It's not a drill, so I cannot I have to cultivate the land before I can plant, which is a pain because I was hoping not necessarily to have to do that all the time. Although the nice thing about the Lemkin is it's very good for planting oilseed radish, because when you're doing that, the only thing I want to be putting in the ground is seed. I don't want to be fertilizing. I don't need it to drill. And also, once it's done, I'm going to need to cultivate that back in order to... Oh, yeah, we'll take this back to the yard. We're going to need the plough.